already agreed with Phil that we weren't going to take any money, so they just quit, and then we couldn't sell shirts anymore. It's my fault, so now I'm supposed to give all Howard's money back that he invested into these shirts, even though I didn't make my money back. So I'm going to take not only a loss for the investment, but now I'm going to pay him his money back and lose a double investment. You see what I mean? This is insanity, but this is how I...
Okay, but again, where did the money for Howard stuff go? And then, didn't he sell or give away the Project 7 shirts later on?
Yes, it was a Patreon goal for $30.
So where did that money go?
Not to Howard. But it would at least be a show of good faith. You go, if you even kind of promise Howard something like, hey, I'm a big YouTuber, this is going to be a good thing, look at these views, we're going to make our money back. There should be at least some
if you sold it to him.
There should be some kind of obligation.
Because, why would Howard put half of his own money into the merchandise? It's got to be that Phil was like, or they had a discussion that was like, let's split that and we can split the profits.
It's just grimy. I'm not saying don't give them all of it back. We just go, all right, you put in 400, here's 2. You're making doctor money.
Guys were thinking, they thought that Project 7 was going to be some giant cash cow that was going to get them rich and famous or something. I don't fucking know. But for anyone to come at me and say that I did anything dishonest, when in reality I was the most upfront fucking guy possible in that whole situation. We purposely had meetings before we ever did a lick of work to make sure we were all on the same page about it. And as I've told you guys many times over the years, it was all passive aggressive shit. Respect the Pack never came out and was honest with me of why they quit the show. Howard over the years became more disgruntled and didn't really want to be in my content anymore and wouldn't really explain why. And it didn't come out until a video made randomly in 2015, a year after I had moved out of Connecticut. Oh, well, he never paid us and all this. I'm like, now wait a minute. I lived in Connecticut the whole fucking time. You couldn't come to me.
That video came out after Phil did some really bad stuff. Reading John's text on air going, John doesn't want to be a part of it. He's doing his own thing, blah, blah, blah. If he was a man, all that crap. That's when that came out. So people came to John like, hey, what's going on? So this was just a chance to air their grievances, that big video.
Yeah, it wasn't like John was just like, John and Howard were like, hey, let's mother Phil right now.
It wasn't a calculated strike. It was a good time to just go, here's what I said, and also here's a bunch of other stuff.
Talk to me and discuss it. You know what I mean? Instead of that, it's stupid shit where they hold in all this resentment and anger towards me and then make a video about it, years later, when in reality, none of what they were saying was fucking true. It was their expectations of what was going to come out of the project, not actually what we had talked about and agreed to.
None of it was true. You first off, he didn't even listen to the video.
Yeah, that's just like Opie thing where like I didn't watch Anthony's
terrible.
Video, but I know the stuff he would have said and I disagree with all of it.
Terrible, and he's getting the secondhand sources and crap. No, you can't do that. Watch it when he just goes, you're making all this money and they're getting nothing, even though even they agree to it or not, they're getting nothing, and they're driving up to your place and you got a Beamer in your driveway. And you're not even offering. That's a big thing.
It really makes you look shiesty.
Yes.
Even if it was all agreed upon, just to not be like, hey, here's a couple hundred.
You guys are doing so much work. You guys are doing such good quality. Here's a couple $100. I'm not taking no for an answer.
Oh, we don't want that. No. You take this. Take it! It ain't much, but you take it!
On the project, okay? So, no, ladies and gentlemen, there was never a time when I... Where is it here? When I refused to pay friends for work that they did. No one ever asked me for payment.
I honestly believe that's true. I don't think he ever refused payment.
No. The wording of that is bad. He did not pay.
He did not give them money. Regardless of whether they agreed upon it or not, gentleman's agreement or whatever, he did not give them money.
Which is really bad.
Yeah, especially for all the work they did. Exposure is exposure, sure, but you did so much work. Now, there was something with a YouTuber recently where one of their editors had came out like, "Oh, this person never paid me. I'm doing all these hours, blah 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 blah," and then the dude had a statement that was just like, "Well, we never agreed to payment, and as far as I knew, you just said, hey, I'll do this for you." So it was very much the same type of thing. So I understand, you can't get mad if no payment was discussed. But it's not like the YouTuber even asked for that editor to edit stuff for them. The editor offered it themselves. Phil was like, hey, I want to do this. Do you know some people? Well, I know my cousins. They do this type of stuff. All right, let's bring them aboard. What do you guys want? We want exposure for your stuff. Okay, but you asked for the stuff. You asked for a service. And they did not get the exposure that they wanted.
So at that point, you gotta break them off a little something.
Hey, I see you guys, your channel isn't getting the exposure we were hoping for. People aren't going there. People aren't subscribing, whatever. I'm just going to throw you monies.
I'm just going to throw you money. And then in my next playthrough, I'm going to say, hey, watch Project 7, edited by Respect the Pack.
Go check them out, blah, 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 blah.
I'm going to throw in a clip of y'all editing in the beginning of anything other than nothing.
He could have did a whole like behind the scenes series, and it'd be like, all the money we get from the behind the scenes stuff is going to y'all.
But he just does nothing. It just goes, this is what they wanted. It's fine.
He essentially pocketed 100% of the money. Didn't pay Howard back for his 50%, even though he sold the shirts a year later. And then he's like, why are they mad that they're not getting any money for all the work?
On anything. Only use them to make money off of them. That never happened, okay? In fact, like I told you guys, I lost money on Project 7, and I paid John half of everything that we were making. So all the misconception about Project 7...
Pause. But he expected it to be at least somewhat profitable because there was discussion of DVDs and going from convention to convention selling stuff.
Yeah, you're making it sound like, oh, their expectations is why they're mad because they didn't get what they expected. But you expected a lot from it as well. So you can't just, push that all off on them like, oh, it's their expectations, that's why they're mad. No, everybody had expectations for Project 7. You guys were writing 4 to 5 episodes, or you were already on like the 4th or 5th episode script before that thing got canned.
Is all lies. It is all fucking lies. All right?
I don't think it's lies. I think it's misworded.
Yes, it's misworded, and it's also very scummy.
I gotta talk about this one.
No.
Phil made money off of his dead friends.
Yeah, he did. Factually, he did.
Yeah, I think he monetized that video.
He did.
In the title, it said R.I.P. such and such person.
Yep.
How
He's also done it with Attica. He's also done it with Robin Williams. Just put their name right in the title. He has, factually. He may just go, I didn't go in intending to make money. It's just a YouTube puts ads on it and I didn't disable it, but you did do that.
Yeah, you have an option to, when you're uploading, you have the option, do not monetize this video. You could have easily did that. I think he also rolled it into like his weekend preview or something.
I think it was
like it was a segment or part of what he was discussing.
Might have been Hate Live,
maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So what you do is you separate that part from the rest of whatever you were doing. You put that out non-monetized, just like, hey, this was a friend of mine, I'm gonna miss him, blah blah blah, and then all the rest of that can be monetized.
Or monetize it and donate the money to either his family or like an FGC, whatever FGC clan he was a part of, or
a
the
pot
scene,
bonus or something.
Yeah, a pot bonus, whatever arcade he went to in his name, something like that.
Not just I did it,
or I did, but I couldn't help it.
Okay? So you might say, well, how the hell could someone say that, and where would that come from? Okay? Well, over the years, I've been doing this for 11 years now. I have shows and podcasts where I do a variety of content, and I used to have a podcast where I would talk about a variety of topics. And there were two shows in particular, all right, where I talked about and did tributes to two friends of mine who had passed away. One of them was actually my very old rival in Street Fighter. His name was T. Carter, all right, and I've grown up with this kid in the 1990s at the same video arcade. We played each other all the time. He was actually the person who started going to tournaments.
Okay, Phil, people aren't disagreeing that you guys were friends.
Yeah, no.
That's not the part of the video.
That's not it at all. We know that he's your friend. Cut that. He's just trying to build up sympathy.
You're not debunking anything by saying, yeah, he actually was my friend.
We don't need this background part of it.
And actually got me into competitive Street Fighter, because if it wasn't for him, I'll be very honest, I always didn't take it that seriously. He was the one who convinced me to take Street Fighter seriously and try to play it in tournaments and stuff. He was the one who got me into it. So one episode of my podcast, I did a...
What's with that jaw movement? He went one episode and then his jaw like moved.
Of my podcast...
What the fuck?
That's the Cody Rhodes Sandow.
Bro, that's the first thing I thought of was the Sandow.
What is this dude?
So one episode of my podcast, I did a tribute segment to him because I...
It's like a fan Dick Tracy villain. What the
segment to him because I'd gone to a tournament and someone who had known him handed me all these beautiful pictures of him at a tournament that he had gone to. I was like, my God, I teared up. I was so happy. I was like, man, I miss this guy so much. And to get this it meant so much to me that this fan had given me these pictures. And I very heartfelt segment of a podcast that I had done was dedicated to the memory of T. Carter. I talked all about how he was always better than me at Street Fighter. All the stuff, I'm not going to go into detail about it because that's out. But it was a very heartfelt thing.
Long-winded.
And then after I finished the podcast, people say you made money off your dead friend's memories. What? Now, that podcast was over 2 hours long, and probably about a half an hour was the tribute to my friend T. There were many other topics and things discussed.
But that's a fourth of the entire episode, Phil. That's 25% of the content of that episode.
Phil sees no issue with this. He's just going, it was a lot. I talked about a lot of stuff, so I just monetized everything. That's his argument. He didn't monetize that specifically. It was just everything was monetized.
On the show, so you're telling me because there was a segment on the show that was a shout out to my deceased friend, that means that I made money off of my friend because it was a monetized video.
Yes.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
Yes, that's 100% the sequence of events there.
Well, yes.
A fourth of that video was dedicated to your friend. You put the name and the title, and you monetized the video.
But he just sees no issue with this.
Again, if you monetize it, like he said, and you donate it to something, some cause he was part of, some type of scene, his family, what have you, it's a whole different can of worms than just going, oh, I monetized it, but it wasn't a bad thing. Phil,
he is
detestable,
psychopath.
Every show ever on television that has a tribute to someone who passed away, they're making money off of that because there's advertisements that run on that television show, right?
If WWE did a whole episode of Raw that was like a tribute to China, they are absolutely making money off of China's name. So yes, Phil, if a TV show does do that, it's not like at the end of an episode they go in loving memory of such and such, or even at the beginning in loving memory, and then that's just the end of it. If you dedicate a large portion of that, you advertise it as such, you are absolutely making money off the death of that person.
But this is also very non-equivalent because there's contracts and stuff on TV. You can't just cut off advertisement. It's not like it was like the tribute to China, and then in the corner it's like brought to you by Snickers. That'd be like, wait a second, maybe take that off. But you can't just go, yeah, we're not running. You can donate it, but you can't just go, yeah, we're not running ads.
We're not, all the commercials that y'all paid for, we're not running it this week because we're doing a tribute thing.
Yeah, no, you can't. Just
Phil, you could personally turn it off. It is 4 clicks. Edit, monetization, 3 clicks. Edit, monetization, do not monetize this video.
Right? I mean, God forbid someone ever do a tribute to anyone that's ever existed. If any penny of money is transacted anywhere, that means that you made money off a dead friend's memory. It's insane. Now, the other...
It's not insane, Phil.
Debunked. He's done.
Debunked.
He's done. Now, the other thing, he moved right along. He goes, other people do it. That's my argument.
Debunked.
NBC, the national news network, does it, so therefore I may as well. So let's just cross that one off.
With no scrutiny.
No.
You can't criticize me because others do it.
Look, them.
off a dead friend's memory. It's insane. Now, the other thing is, a similar thing happened a couple years later. My friend Ian, who was actually a friend of T's, he was the person who got T into competitive Street Fighter. He ended up passing away. Now, I didn't know too much about the circumstances of his passing or whatever. I just gotten wind from a few people who had texted me and said, Phil, Scott passed away. It's really sad. So I decided on a podcast.
2 things. First off, I hate when he just... Anytime he brings up... So I was playing something on my phone, and he'll hold up the phone. We got this little thing right there, so we couldn't see it, but I saw the shadow of him holding up the phone. And he's just like, I got a text, and he just holds and wiggles the phone like, we know, Negro. But the other thing was, Howard said that he texted you that, and you never responded back. That's why you don't know the full story about the passing, because you never inquired further. You said that you got word of it from several people, but you don't know what happened? Phil! You just gonna say this?
I wonder what he's going to do if, heaven forbid, Rambo passes before him. I wonder if he would do anything or say anything about that.
Absolutely. Because every time he does his retrospectives, he's all over the Howard. He's all over the John stuff. All over. It's like, oh, we had so much fun. He's gonna talk about them. Absolutely, he's gonna monetize it.
There's no question.
Yep, he's gonna take donations from people like John Howard's Big Dad Knows, crap like that.
Guys, please don't do it. You're bad. You shouldn't put John Big Dad Nose up on the screen. Trolls. Just idiot. My friend is dead.
Your friend. He's totally going to say his friend.
You know, we had our differences. He's probably going to do... I know you've never seen the Straight Outta Compton movie. But at the end... the whole split with NWA. At the end, they had this whole happy and let's get back in the studio, Eazy-E. And then Eazy just died. That's exactly what
happened.
No, it's not. That's exactly what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be like me and Rambo. We were patching things up behind the scenes. It's gonna 100% be that. He's detestable.
It's unprovable, so you can't go, no, you weren't.
But that's the thing. He could prove it by showing the text.
But he's just not going to if he's not going to walk 2 doors down to get ear medicine.
So, that's a big old ripperoni. And I don't know when this video is going to come out, but the Phil lore is probably going to move on from the ear medicine by the time this goes up.
It is ever evolving.
Bruh, it's the greatest TV show in history. You want to talk about subversion? Bruh.
It's just it's never going to stop.
To do a very small segment where I discussed the passing of him and saying, rest in peace. He's a good guy, and I told a couple jokes about things and stuff experiences that I had with him. That wasn't even a long segment. I think, if I remember correctly, that was like 15 minutes, on, again, a 2+ hour podcast. And again, the same Slander. Phil made money off of his deceased friends. It's like, are you
I wonder did he put in his name in the title?
You gotta be brain dead to think that that's the true thing. I didn't make a fucking a video just about it and monetize the video. It was a small tribute in a large show.
Phil, you are completely misunderstanding.
Yes, he's missing the point, and he's arguing a point that doesn't exist. It's baffling. So his mindset is just, I'm gonna argue this point, and there's no issues here. Once I tear down this one argument, they got nothing.
Oh, to someone who meant something to me in my life, and because it was a monetized video, for some reason I'm the fucking devil because I made money on a dead friend. It's insanity.
You're not the devil, Phil, but you absolutely made money off the backs of your dead friend.
Yes. Factually.
And there's no disputing that fact. Even if you go to the 15-minute segment, 30 minutes in the 2-hour podcast, again, that's a fourth of the content.
Putting his name in the title, that is to get people to click that.
Oh, what happened with Phil's friend? Click, that's money. Legitimately, Phil.
Yes. It may not have been your intention to do so maliciously, but you still did it.
It was done.
And that's the problem. The fact that it was done.
But he doesn't see it like that.
No, he does not.
He's nuts.
It really is insanity, okay? Alright. Let's continue. I can't believe some of this shit. I really can't. Here's one that's new to me. I didn't even hear about this one
Believe
until
that
today.
in ball spot.
I groomed 2 fangirls and used them for sex and extra money.
Okay, can we get a pause? That is both Kat and Leanna. They were both familiar. Panda Lee was factually a fan.
Absolutely.
She said that. He said that. Kat, he said that she knew of and had watched many of his videos before. So it's a fact. May not be a fangirl, may not be groomed. The wording is harsh.
Yes. I don't think he groomed anybody.
No.
I don't think Phil has the mental capacity to groom anybody. Maybe he was emotionally and or mentally manipulative, but he absolutely did not groom them because, especially not Kat, because she was a grown woman. Mm-hmm. Grooming is like an underage person and you're grooming them for the day that they turn legal. So no, as far as Kat goes, that's out the window. Leanna, she's her own person, and her personality very much formed around the way Phil's personality was. When people are teenagers, they're kind of finding themselves, and they'll adopt the personality of their environment or the people around them or the people they look up to in YouTube and all that type of stuff. And I think she very much adopted Phil's personality.
Can't say that because I guess it was after they met because she started putting out a lot of vlogs, and she had like 2 personalities. One of them was just like, I like chocolate and I like oranges and here's my dog, and the other ones are like, in Mexicans.
Yeah, she was doing some racist stuff.
So
calling her cousin a halfie and stuff. Like, I don't know what she was doing, but that's very much the Phil. That was very much that type of Phil type of thing.
It's a very weird thing. The wording is harsh, but they were fans of yours.
At least Leanna.
And you dated them. They gave you money, but it was they live here, so they're just providing. Yeah, no, the wording is harsh, but it's still true-ish.
It's got a lot of truth within it.
Yes.
It's just wrapped in a bush wrap.
What? Like, what? What the fuck? I don't even know what that is. I don't know how you can even say that. Where's there any evidence of that? I mean, I don't even know where that's coming from. I have no clue where the fuck that's coming from at all. Like,
where's the evidence of the ear medication, Phil?
He said it. He said that he met with a doctor, and the doctor conveniently just like, yeah, we'll just hand deliver it to you. That's fine. We can do that now.
Phil very much debunks things in the same style of the people he's debunking. We're just like, where's the evidence? I'm hurt. Where's the evidence? I don't need evidence. Just believe me, you morons. How do you morons believe them with no evidence? It's so astounding.
It is.
that's a first. And I didn't make that up. It's on the same fucking list here.
You see the list? Do you see it? It's on the same list here. Do you see it? Here it is. Here's the list. That's a white screen, Phil. Do you see it? What is wrong with this dude? Here it is. It's on the same list. Just this blind. That looks edited. That looks like he's hiding something.
Like he just put a white...
Like he edited this video. Like, oh, I just showed a bunch of my penis pictures on here. Let me just edit this out. It's a literal white screen. Oh, this dude is incompetent.
Twitter today that people believe this.
Why is his screen so bright? I just realized the reason it's a pure white screen is because his screen...
lights and shit. It's not like he's in the middle of the day in the street.
He's in a fairly well-lit room. You can see the light bouncing off his thumb. That's how bright it
This
is.
is blinded. What is he doing?
Twitter today.
Dude, it's so bright.
That people believe this. The thing is, like I said, my life has always been very...
Okay, Phil. Where's your evidence that people believe that?
Well, if you just look at that Twitter that he just showed.
Do you see the name?
Transparent, and it wasn't until like when I dating Kat that I made things more private. But you guys know how busy I am. You guys know how much I work. You guys see I'm on stream all the time. I'm making videos constantly. When the fuck was I secretly grooming 2 fangirls for these covert meetings and shit? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This shit is just out of control.
Okay, Phil, you said yourself that you would go to where Leanna was. So how did that happen if you were always working and we always knew where you were?
You guys went on trips and everything,
And people didn't know anything about it. Because here's how you used to do things. You could have recorded 5 games in a day and uploaded them throughout a week. And people wouldn't be none the wiser. You could have had a whole 5 days off and nobody would have known. So it's not, there's no evidence that he groomed 2 fangirls of blah, blah, blah. You know, non-Leanna and non-Cat, just 2 random fangirls. But there's also, you can't just say, when would I have time to do this? When you absolutely could have had time at a certain point. Stop the bullshit, Phil.
Right? I mean, and of course that would lead into Phil said that he needed money for taxes, and he used it to buy an escort from Europe to fly the times across the world to spend time with him so he could pretend like he had a girlfriend and all that. And of course that thing was all debunked because...
Yeah, it was debunked by the people that they did all the research and evidence and proved it.
It was
the
Kiwi
people at
Farms.
Kiwi Farms.
you did nothing. That was debunked, and it was just like, here's this weird couple doing this thing. Yeah, no, that was debunked. They were on some kind of smart stuff, listening to his podcast and like reacting to it, and his pre-streams and just like reacting to it on Twitter. That was some, okay, like, okay, you can see something there, but no, that was nobody. That's not on the list, Phil.
Yeah,
because nobody believes that because it was debunked
by the people that you call detractors.
Proven that was actually a middle-aged couple over in fucking like Central Europe or some weird shit who had been catfishing people for like a decade doing this, and they were using other people's personas and online profiles and
we know.
identity theft to pretend to be
you're
other
debunking
people.
something that
And
already
what they would end up
debunked,
doing
Phil.
is try to blackmail people. So I think what their game was is that eventually what they
we're
wanted
done
to
here,
do
Phil.
to me by lying on the internet and saying that, oh, I'm an escort, that I was a Phil or whatever, they were going to try to blackmail me and say, well, if you pay us a certain amount of money,
Here we
we'll
go.
go away
Pause.
and never...
What all this is people lied about me before, and now people are currently lying about me now. Do you see the correlation? Here's them lying before, so of course they lied now. That's all this is.
It's very much like a YouTuber analysis do, or analysts. I don't know why I said YouTube analysis. YouTube analysts do. They go, here's a bunch of stuff I evidenced and I was right about, so now I can make wild speculation, and I don't need to evidence anything because I've already proven myself trustworthy as far as evidence goes. Mm-hmm. And that's what Phil just did. It's just like, okay, here's this awful they did. He's probably gonna go into swatting and all this other stuff. Here's all these awful things these people do to me. So don't believe them, because here's the evidence of the stuff they did. You have no evidence about the conversations you had with Howard and John and the respective pack, but we are just meant to believe you.
Pay us a certain amount of money, we'll go away and never say this ever again. But I don't care about that shit. I already had so many people talking shit about me. I didn't care, and I just said, fuck you. And I ignored it, and it went away within 2 months when finally...
Pause. He did a victory lap when this ended. To the point where, I think it was Mr. Hunt stuff, just when DSP tries it, victory lap. It was like a whole 45-minute pre-stream. It was just like, I told you guys, this was bull crap. I'm extending an olive branch to the detractors. Just all this other garbage. You were just like, yep, whatever, let's just see this play out. You piece of crap. That's not what happened at all.
Did the research, and found out that it was this crazy couple doing...
Okay, hold on. Who did the research?
In 2 months when finally people did the research.
People.
People. How about you give credit to the people that you're saying are just constantly lying about you and trying to ruin your life?
Them people over there are... crazy.
Bruh, Kiwi Farms is nuts.
They're nuts, and they're also very good at what they do. In my wildest dreams, I'm like, they're not gonna get in on that call.
Oh, that was ridiculous. I'm like,
it's just they're live streamed.
That boy was ringing off the
I'm
hook.
like, how are y'all do? Y'all found the time, the date,
the
got
number.
into it. And live stream this. You don't mess with Kiwi Farms.
This crazy couple doing insane shit, okay? But again, this is another thing.
Pause. Why does he swish water in his mouth?
Bruh, it's the same thing as DSP tries it when he would try food.
He's such a weird guy. He took such a minuscule sip and he just swishes it around in his mouth. What is he?
It's like when you were a kid in the tub and moving back and forth, just letting it wave all.
What? Just little stuff like that. It's just like this guy is very weird.
That people still to this day say Phil had an escort. It's like, no.
Who said this?
Who?
Who's left thinking that?
And even if the people do, they're doing it to get under your skin so that you go, people are saying this. So that you remember that.
Nobody legit believes that because it was 100% proven false, debunked.
Phil had an escort. It's like, no, actually that one was 100% completely debunked, but people still believe it because they're fucking morons.
Who?
Bruh, right, tilt that head up.
An 11-year-old girl.
Oh, Phil.
Fillington. You said these words. You can't explain
now
this.
I'm away from that little annoying bit of a kid who I would slap in real life
if they talk to me that way. If that kid was in front of me, I would have pimp slapped the shit out of her.
You said the words in real life, Phil. There is no debunking this. And I remember what he's going to say about this, and it pissed me off so much the first time I heard it.
To just, punch a girl right in the fucking face, I cop up to that one. No! What the
yes! What the are you talking about? There's video evidence, Phil! You did! You said it! See, you can easily just say, heat of the moment, make it a joke. I didn't really mean that, but you just go, didn't happen. No!
Here's the thing. You could... It's really hard to believe Phil when he said this is what happened behind the scenes and stuff that y'all couldn't see. When there's such empirical evidence on screen in video captured by everybody, downloaded and restreamed and reposted of him saying the exact words, "I would have slapped that girl in real life."
In real life.
And he's just going, "That's not what I said.
That's not what happened. That's not what I said."
He could have said, "That's not what I meant," but he didn't. He said, "That's not what I said."
Didn't happen. What the
Cop up to that one. No, what the fuck are you talking about? This all spawned from 2 years ago. I was playing this stupid VR chat thing, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know what it is. What it's supposed to be. And there was a girl on there who obviously should not have been playing VR chat.
Oh my
Pause.
god.
That's not up to you to decide.
And now it's the little girl's fault.
Yep, 100%. Or the parents' fault.
It's VR
You
chat.
piece of shit.
Is VR chat rated E for everyone? Is it not also rated that online is not rated because they can't control online? They can't control what people say or do. Is that not what happened?
And it's not like they were in the land of penises. They were in basically an open field.
And she was going, are you stupid? Do this. And he goes, "I'm not stupid." And then they walk away. "Thanks, I'm gonna wait for that annoying bit of a child that I would have slapped in real life."
Supervised, you could tell she was probably like 11 years old, probably accurate. That's about how old.
Wow.
No,
Clap,
they said
clap.
they were 11.
Clap, Phil. You know the age of the girl you were gonna slap in real life.
Doesn't matter. You remember, they sound like, you don't remember the name of anything. You don't remember what you said, but you remember, they sounded like they were 11 or whatever.
Why the fuck her parents are letting her play VR chat, the world of disgusting people going in there saying swears and sexual things and all kinds of fucked up stuff, right?
She might as well just not use the internet.
Basically, 100%. Don't go on YouTube. Say on YouTube Kids. You know what kind of foul stuff you can get at just a click? Dude.
Swears and sexual things, kinds of fucked up stuff, right? That's just crazy.
Okay, but here's the thing, Phil. From her interaction with you, did anything foul or f***ed up happen? What if that's always her interaction? Just dealing with people she finds stupid and just having fun doing the stuff in VR chat. What if she never encounters anything disgusting? Why are you making this a point of contention,
Why
Phil?
are you the arbiter of this? Why are you the gatekeeper of this child is a problem for playing the game? That's point blank number one. Slapping or not, they shouldn't have been playing it.
Crazy, right? But there was a girl who I walked into a room and literally just became an insane brat, insulting me and saying nasty shit to me. I didn't even say a word. And she was saying
Pause. Why is he clutching his chest? Like she shot him in the forehead. What are you doing? I didn't. I was the innocent one.
Oh,
Your Honor, I was not there that night. I was with my child. What are you doing, Phil? Why are you acting the victim?
shit direct to me. I was like, damn, that girl needs a fucking smack or something. I don't even remember exactly what I said.
Oh my god, you remember she was 11 though, huh?
I don't remember what I said, but I know I didn't say this. But you did. As you clutch your chest like a granny. Dude, this... Oh!
Smack or something. I don't even remember exactly what I said, but it was a reactionary thing, basically saying, she needs a smack, because if that was me in my day when I was growing up and I was a kid, if I acted like
No, Phil, you're adding all this other
Yes!
stuff. You're not like, if I acted like that as a kid, I would have got smacked upside the head, and that's what she need. That's not how that sequence of events went.
Not at all.
You said, I would have slapped that annoying bit of a child.
In real life.
In real life, if she talked to me that way, I would have pimp slapped her.
I would have pimp. Not my parents would have. If I had talked like this, that child's parents need none of that. It would have been so easy to just say, I didn't mean to say that. I look back on the video. I don't know why I said that. That was dumb. I shouldn't have said that. And now I apologize. It would have been so easy. He made that blinding white list. He found it on Twitter, my bad.
Yeah,
he found it, but did no kind of research. He couldn't go Phil Slap Child on YouTube and find it and listen and go, oh, I did say that.
Hey, how about we play the actual audio? Because, this totes happened.
DSP Slap Child, there it is.
Play it up. Play it at the mic.
I'm 11.
You're 11?
Yes.
And your parents bought you a gaming PC? What's wrong with this picture?
Probably because I'm part wolf.
Pause that video. He just assaulted her. He just said, I walked in and she just started hurling insults at me. You're like, you're 11? Why would your parents buy you a gaming PC? What's wrong with this picture?
Just so you know.
You click on it, huh? Good, now I'm away from that annoying fucking bitch of a kid who I would have slapped in real fucking life if they talked to me like that. I would have fucking pimp slapped the shit out of that. What the fuck? Anyway.
Done. What? He could not. That is a 30-second video. He looked at that list when I'm going to debunk all this. I'm going to get my points together. But you couldn't. 1 minute to search it. 30 seconds to watch it.
From the
go,
beginning of search to the end of video, it would have taken you less than a minute.
And you couldn't go, whoops. I didn't mean that it was a joke. You guys know me. I was just trying to make a joke. Of course I'm not slapping little kids.
It's not like I said it to her.
Yes.
I said it away from her. It's just a joke, guys.
Anything other than I didn't say that. I said that as I clutched my chest, my parents would have slapped me, and now, no.
Because even while he's talking to the kid, he's very his voice is up. He's making jokes and everything, but his voice is up. He's just talking to the kid. It's not like he's being mean. So he could have just been like, you saw how I interacted with her. I was just, it's whatever. After the fact, I was just making a joke. But no. He literally said these words, and now he's going, that's not what I said.
He's saying, she needs a smack because if that was me in my day when I was growing up and I was a kid, if I acted like that,
Hands have not released the titties.
Right in the head. That's how it was back then. Today, God forbid anyone ever touch a kid, but back then that's how it was. You get disciplined for acting like a shithead to people. So I made a off-the-cuff comment about that. It wasn't to the kid, by the way. It was a private comment. It wasn't like I ran up to the kid's face and insulted the kid.
You sure
It
didn't.
was just to my streaming audience. I said, damn, that girl deserves a smack for acting like that.
Nope. Pause. You didn't say that. That's not what you said at all.
No. And you don't remember what you said. So why are you saying this is what I said? That's not what you said, Philip. Fillington. If you had watched it, you could better explain yourself instead of just going, well, that kid need a slap or something, and then you move on with your day. No, you're explaining something that didn't happen, so you're not explaining anything.
A smack for acting like that. And they twisted that into Phil wants to beat up an 11-year-old girl.
They didn't twist it into that. They twisted it. They didn't twist anything. They literally reposted it and said, DSP says I would slap 11-year-old girl. Because you said I would have slapped the 11-year-old girl in real life. Pip slapped the out of her.
You said this.
What the fuck? Now, if I had actually said on stream I want to beat up an 11-year-old girl, do you think I'd be on Twitch today?
Yes.
People do far worse on Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. And there's
nudity, racism, hate speech, all types of stuff going on.
Don't hand me that. I wouldn't be there. Because there's no reason why you should be there for saying cat very delicious. You're not getting taken off of anything for just saying something like that unless you insult somebody directly like you did, and then you got removed, and then you came back with no consequences. But we're not talking about that.
Of course not. They would have banned me. But I didn't say that. It was an off-the-cuff comment. It's stupidity. It's absolute stupidity that people...
Because I wasn't punished, clearly I didn't say that.
What did he debunk by saying this?
What was debunked?
I don't remember what I said, but I didn't say that. I said something to the effect of, and if I did say A, I would have gotten banned, so clearly I just didn't.
Debunked.
I didn't say that. It was an off-the-cuff comment. It's stupidity. It's absolute stupidity.
You're just stupid.
The things that people say and twist the shit into.
Moving on.
Yep. Next
You're
day.
just stupid.
Debunked.
Let's see here.
Done.
Debunked.
What did he debunk?
That he didn't say that. What he actually
But
said
he don't
was...
remember what he said. He didn't show any evidence of what he said, and people can find what he said.
Debunked?
Debunked.
Bruh, it's been almost an hour, and we've done 10 minutes.
It's not a bad ratio.
Okay. Let's get into more recent stuff, shall we? Let's get into all the crap people are saying, recently.
Okay, he's saying recently a lot. This was like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago, somewhere around there? Yeah. So it's not really recent at this point.
Things such as, oh, hold on a second.
Where's
Let me
Liz?
just turn up my brightness. I can't really see.
We were both going for the brightness joke.
Forget that. Never mind. Never mind. That was...
What was that noise? Rah, 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 rah. You sound like the fake penguin.
Oh, forget that. Never mind. Never mind.
Phil, what the... You're just noising at people.
That wasn't interesting. Now, I thought it was something interesting to come in. It was nothing interesting at all. All right, let's talk about recently. I mean, anyone who's been watching my stuff in the last 2 years knows that I'm financially not in a very good situation. Every time...
Okay, why do you need to say this during the debunk stream? This is for the new people that are coming in. So don't say anybody that hasn't seen it. Just go, hey, I'm not doing well off, so this is what I'm debunking.
Nope. He needs to go all the way back to the very beginning of everything that he's debunking.
He needs so much sympathy and empathy at all
There's no
time.
reason why this video should be almost 2 hours.
Phil could literally stab someone and go, but I was the victim.
that it looks like I'm getting ahead somehow.
But Phil, you were not getting ahead. You weren't even close.
Dude, you point blank period, you haven't paid off the debts of your move. So until you do that, you're not being ahead, quote unquote. So that's what you need to do first off.
Dude, how do you rack up that much debt moving?
It's astonishing.
Because I believe he bought his furniture there. Or a lot of it, at least.
If he didn't buy it, he put it on a credit card. Like he did with almost everything
But
else.
what I'm saying is, he got it there, so it's not like they needed to move all that furniture. And what he did need to move, from what I heard, he flew everything over as opposed to just moving. He probably paid for the most expensive, easy way to do shit.
He did this during his travel vlogs. There was this moving company, and I believe I don't remember exactly how much it was. Usually it was $1,300 or $13,000 to move it safely and securely across country. But whatever it was,
It had to be 1,000 there.
whatever it was not cheap, and it wasn't even a whole lot of stuff combined with Leanna's stuff, which 3 suitcases, honestly.
She packed all her up and left.
So yeah, you need to pay that off before it looks like you're moving ahead, Phil.
Somehow, sadly, I get screwed. All right. First, it was the YouTube adpocalypse in early 2017 when YouTube ad revenue fell completely
Pause.
through.
You didn't get screwed. Everybody got screwed. Don't make it sound like they're targeting you.
Because a bunch of advertisers left. So I changed myself up from being a full-time YouTuber to a full-time streamer. And I started to recover. Things were actually getting good. Then I get a message from the Washington State Department of Revenue that I was supposed to be paying state business taxes ever since I moved here in 2014. And I had them for 3 years. Oh, guess what? My accountant at the time screwed everything up and never did it right.
Bruh, Phil... I don't really believe in the alpha male, beta male bullshit because it's been thoroughly debunked by the person that actually created that type of mentality. But Phil is a beta that wants to act like he's an alpha. What happens is he moved cross country and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna relieve you, my tax attorney guy."
Back in Connecticut.
Yes, back in Connecticut, because I want to get somebody in Washington that knows Washington law and is more at home and can tell me what I need to do. No, I can handle all of that. Oh,
Okay, cool.
okay. I'm sure at that in hospital with Leanna, it was just like, "Excuse me, can you tell me? Oh yeah, somebody will be with you. Oh, okay, thank you. Excuse me, it's been like 3 hours. Is somebody no?
Can we pause there? Excuse me, can you tell me what's going on? Okay, we'll be there with you in a second. Okay, sure. These horrible people, they're making us wait. Oh, excuse me.
That's essentially what it was. And then he's just like, my accountant screwed everything up. That piece of
Why didn't you do an iota of research?
because he paid somebody else to do it for him. And that's what everything was with Phil for a long time. I'll just pay somebody else to do it.
I would not trust somebody like that. Even if they were just like, no, I got to, I would be a lot more comfortable. You've done a great work. I appreciate you, but I would feel a lot more comfortable with somebody who's not 15 states over. That's all. But he just went, no, it's cool. And that was your fault, Phil.
Yeah,
you're taking no blame in that. Which is a problem.
That's the real problem with Phil. He is always blameless. I want to say always. He's like 98% blameless. He's like, okay, maybe I could have did some things, but them.
So because of that, I owed thousands upon thousands of dollars of back state taxes that I never paid. It wasn't my fault. It was because the asshole who I was paying and trusted to do my taxes wasn't doing them right. So we get past that, and then the next thing...
No, he told you something. You believed it. You learned that it was wrong. You said, hey, what's up? He said, get somebody in state.
Like you should have done.
Off rip.
Out the gate.
You moved to Washington because you did all this research. You said it personally. You wanted to go somewhere with no taxes because you are a greedy piece of and you didn't want to go anywhere. You could have went somewhere way more modest with a pretty nice house. Dude, there was some house in Texas somebody looked up that was like $480,000. That thing was like 50 acres, 7 bedrooms. It was a ridiculous house. And even this house, Phil got lucky because he got the house at a pretty much bargain price because all it's done is go up in value.
Very, very odd how that happens. But yeah, you could have gotten a nice place in like Nebraska or Arkansas where ain't nobody trying to live there. There's nothing booming. There's no tourists there. You could have got a nice modest house for probably the same amount of money. But you're just looking like, okay, what are the places where I don't have to pay taxes? Here, Georgia, Florida, Texas, and that's all you were looking for.
You could have went somewhere further south that would have given you really good internet because they've got a lot of fiber stuff down there. So it could have given you really good internet for a lot cheaper than this Comcast business bush.
You wouldn't need 2 internet lines.
And sure, you would have had to pay taxes, but is that not preferable to what your situation is at this current moment where you actually still had to pay taxes? You just didn't know you did?
He did research on the places that didn't need taxes. But what did that research
yield
if he just paid them?
YouTube. Well, first of all, losing a partnership that I had with Curse on YouTube.
Yeah, Curse sucks.
Then losing monetization on my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, which I didn't do anything. It was a Google Plus error. You know what I mean? It's like thing after thing after fucking thing.
He lost monetization for like a week?
Mm-hmm. But that's also Phil's fault because he couldn't get into the AdSense program because he told people to click ads on the side of his video the last time he was on it.
It always goes back to number one, it's his fault, and then other things come.
Every time that it looks like finally everything's in the clear, I can get ahead, something else would rear its ugly fucking head. But in particular, these last couple of years, there's been 2 things that have...
Okay, I was just about to say, what is he debunking here?
Yeah, this is where the
okay, good. I lost the thread because he just had to go all the way back to Connecticut.
Hurting me. One is those back state taxes that I owed thousands upon thousands of dollars out of nowhere. I didn't have the money for them. And the other is right now my federal taxes, which I couldn't pay this last year, and I'm going on a payment plan in order to try to make up for it, okay? Now, I don't have anyone to appeal to. I don't have an extensively huge family who's made of money who I can ask for stuff. So for me, I'm really just...
When he got married, his mom paid for a good chunk of his taxes, which was, if memory serves, at least a couple $1,000s that he just got from his mom. Didn't mention his dad, really. I can't imagine that he approves too much. But yeah, it was mostly because he was just like, me and my mom sat down and we had a chat, and then slid him that check, that fat check.
And yet, he still couldn't catch up.
Still. And I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I don't have anybody to rely on. People are just like, Phil, why did you get a cat if you know you can't pay for it if something goes wrong, if it needs to go to the vet or something? And you went, my parents said they would pay for that. They would take care of that. You said this. You have your parents to lean on. You know you do. I don't know why you acting like you don't.
You don't have some, super rich uncle that's just like, here you go, Phil. Here's $800,000.
Baron.
Yeah, you don't have that. But you absolutely have fairly well-off parents that are willing to provide you with copious amounts of money at any given time. The whole reason your mom gave you that was so you can go on the payment plan, and you defaulted on the payments plan.
How was your mom feeling? Which is like, here's the money to pay for your taxes, and then a couple months later, it's just like bankruptcy time.
Debunked.
Oh my goodness.
That was awful.